Alright, here we go. Okay guys, this is a tutorial on how to make actor fonts, and with these fantastic actor fonts you can make something beautiful like this. Top of the morning, I guess, I don't know, whatever. As you can see, this is just Gregory's face. Also, you can see probably in the video, you can still see the cursor there. That's kind of pretty weird. And I have V3DMM FBS on for no apparent reason at all. Anyway, oh, that's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah. It's easy to work with these since you probably haven't tried yet. Just typing in a letter. That's the back of his head. That would be. Oh, I have no idea what the hell that is. Okay, that's obviously the front of his body. He's got a face on his chest. You got all the textures here. That's the arm. Let's see, that's the back. It's arm again. And it's pretty easy to work with these, like you would with any other font. Well, okay. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so, that's what the end result would hopefully... Well, okay, I doubt that's exactly what you want to end up being, but it says, it's been used before and it looks great, and you know. Moving on. I'll show you how to do it all, and it only takes me about 2 hours, and I'm pretty lazy, so you could probably do it faster. Let's see, so where do we start? Well, you pull out your handy little 3DMM pencil, and you go to this. Now this is something I've already set up. I've already copied everything over for everybody. All the actors. We can forget the props, but the actors have all been copied, pasted, with all the stuff necessary to make this. So anybody that wants to do any of these fonts or whatever, I'll just have all of these uploaded, and you just get right to work. And it's like all the hard work is done for you. I swear, all the really hard work, really. For this example, I will be using Nikita, maybe? Eliza? I want to use a girl in the next movie for the stupid scene I'm working on right now, because most of my scenes are stupid. I want to be... Alright, so we'll just do Eliza. We'll start here. This is the actor extracted Eliza. Now, one of the first things you do for your actor font is the BMDLs. You got to take them all out. So this is just a shortcut I use. I type in BMDL, and every time I click Find Next, it finds the next BMDL on the list. So go down here to see what it is. And like many actors start off with a blank, but Eliza is like the last couple actors I've worked on. She starts out with a neck. Trust me, that's a neck. The 3DMM creators were a bit smarter than I am, so they have things in a certain pattern. So I just know automatically that that's the neck because they do things in the same order every time, more or less. So I've got my fonts BMDLs folder for every single actress. So you just go in there, save it, so it's neck. And it comes up, next BMDL. The section is compressed. You always want to do the decompressed version just because I know that way works. And then you just, next, you view what it is, and oh look, like usual, it's the face. Cancel that. Export. Face. Press enter. Save. Enter. Yes. Then you find next. Now it's 1511, and oh gosh, it's her hair. Export. Hair. Enter. Enter. Next. View. That's an ear. Now this is where things start to get interesting, okay? First off, my personal little, system, ear 1, or actually ear left, because that's her left ear, so from her view it's her left. But, if my guess is correct, that would be the same ear. Now, why is there a duplicate? There are tons of duplicates of the BMDLs. I don't really know why, but for some actors, they use the exact same BMDL more than once. The most obvious example of why they would do this is probably Salvador. You know how he usually has that crazy grin and all that? Well, when you use the run scared action, his grin goes to scared, running away, coward, pee your pants kind of face. That would probably, I'm pretty sure that that's from using a different BMDL at that point. But most of the time they're just duplicates. They might have been planning on doing more with their actors and they ended up just not doing it. But we don't need duplicates for the font, obviously, because you can just use the same letter over again. In the case of the ears, there's one for the front and one for the back. They'll have different, textures or whatever, but again, I think that would be a duplicate. If you need a back for the left ear, just use the right ear and flip it backwards, and then for the backwards of the skin, you can just use like the arm texture or whatever. So you can save yourself some work and just not do that extra ear. So next, and now ta-da, as per the system, that's the other ear, so ear right. Are you getting bored yet? I believe I will pause it and get back to you when I'm done. Okay, I got lucky with this one, with Eliza. She's just like pretty much everyone else. It goes in the exact same order, so you can assume that with your actor, it'll go in the same order, but you'll still want to double check anyway. It'll go in the order of neck, face, hair, hats if applicable, and then front torso. Sometimes some of them have collars. I got lucky with Eliza. She actually, her collar is attached to her body, which is, it makes sense to have a part of your shirt be the same as the shirt. But she went torso front, and then the back of the torso, then the lower arm, then her hand, then her upper arm. Then it went to the other side. Well, of course, there's duplicates, but I still did the hand anyway, so there's another hand there. Then it'll be hip, lower leg, other lower leg, thigh, other thigh, foot, foot. And at that point, you're done. Any hats, maybe props, but then there will be a huge string of duplicate BMDLs that you can just avoid if you want. You know what I mean? So there's the left hand. Explore the left hand. As you can see, I've got this naming system. It's what it is, and then lower, upper. What it is, left, right. Hand, right. This is hand, left. And this is kind of boring. Skip. What in the hell is this thing? Is it a part of her leg or what? I don't remember her leg being that thin. Well, if you need to double check, just load up 3DMM. Take a look at the actual actor herself. Hey Eliza, what's going on? What in the heck is that thing that you got going on there? Let's make you, whoa. Bend your legs so we can have a look. Oops. Whoa. Get inside her, see a little bit better. Oh, she has little ankle things. She's got boots. That's new. Cool. Well, just gotta remember to add that to the list of things Eliza has. Okay. This is the foot. This should be the last one. Oops. Yeah, whatever. And then double check. Should be another foot. Yeah, it's another foot. Next. And then we're into other faces again. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So, good. Eliza should be all done. I don't remember her having any hats anyway. So, now that we have all the BMDLs extracted, now what do? Well, now this is the actual font itself. I've already got the IDs set up, or that ID particularly. We've got the string all set up. This is Eliza. You may recognize the rest of the details of this. This is actually Aaron's Dask font for the Valerian remake. I just copied it. Hey, it's the easiest way to do it, fastest way, and it works. So, hey, whatever. You do the same thing. Now comes one of the only boring parts. Well, actually, no, they're all boring, but you still have to do it. The IDs for the individual BMDLs within the font cells, they also have to be unique from everything else. So I have the system, 6 digits, starts with a 4, 0, and then the ID of the actor, and then, in order, 1 through however many you have. Or actually 1 through 27, we'll just delete the extras. What's the ID of your character? Well, I have it all set out already according to alphabetical order, 1 through 45. And then I also, what did I do? Oh, when I did the numbering, I left the animals, the cat and the rat, inside the listing. But that was kind of stupid, but it kind of changed the order anyway. So this way, it's still in the same order as 3MM itself, but you've just got a couple blanks, so whatever. So if you want to do Benedict, then you would put 4 here. That way we know that that is Benedict, and it is unique to Benedict. The 3 actors I've already done are Gregory, 18, Gustav, 19, and Michael, 28. And I've now working on Eliza. What is Eliza? She's 14. Okay. Now, the rest of this is the key map for the font, so that later we can just look at it and go, okay, Gregory, Q is the face, W is torso front. Now you'll notice that they're all very much the same. Torso, upper arm, left hand, they'll be the same. So that all the actors use the exact same letter patterns, so that as you go between actors, you can just remember more easily that every actor Q is the face, every actor A is the hair, Z is the neck. With Gustav, Z is the teeth. So they're different, because not everybody has huge freaking teeth. Yeah. Templates. Good things. These ones mean that they're blank. We just remove them completely from the actor, but I'll get to that later. So Eliza is 14. So the first thing we do is change all of these from 400 and 1,000 to 901 to 400, 1,401. And then you go down to apply changes. Yes. Okay. This is the part where you kill me for making you do this. La la la. La la la. Now I'm gonna make you watch it all. La 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 la. Oh, I completely forgot to have music while I was working on this. Okay. That is that. They have all been changed. At this point you can hit save just to save your progress. Let's see. Okay, finalize it. At this point, now you've got to start inserting the BMDLs into the font itself. And that is a pretty easy part, but you still might be a good idea to go by the system I've set up. So the first one is the face. That's head 1. Numbering each part of the face. Whatever. And then it's just a matter of import and then finding them, face, open, and all that. First thing I'm going to do, though, is figure out what the heck I'm going to do. As in what order, what BMDL will go to what letters. So I'm going to go over to Eliza. Head 1 will be her face, so face. Head 2 will be her hair, so there's a hair BMDL. 3 will be the neck, since there is a neck. It's a good thing to have on a human being. Why do I have that as X? Interesting. Torso. You'll notice that I did a pattern. I can't show you because I can't actually show you my fingers. But what I did was the heads are the first row, Q, A, Z. And then the torso's second row, W, S, X. and then arms, EDC, legs, RFV, TGB, YHN, that kind of thing. So as you go down, it's within the same category. As you go across, you get a different category. So it's another little system thing to help you, do it more quickly. So upper arm, left hand, hip, foot. Just to keep with the template, the foot will come first, but the ankle will also be a part of that. She does not have any hats. She did not have a particular nose. She doesn't have any more than necessary, so we can take the miscellaneous ones out. Hair, back, arm, hand, thigh, ear, hat. She doesn't have any hats. So this is just to keep myself straight since I'm crazy. Lower leg, ear 2, hat 3, and then the ankle, let's see, foot was a Y. What's underneath Y? H. So we go down to H. Right here, that's where the ears are. Okay. Everything's falling apart around me. We'll put that on you. That'll be the foot, ankle, what are those called? Ankle warmers? Leg warmer? I don't know. Those stupid little fluffy things. Anyway, so now that you got a system set up, now you can start putting the BMDLs inside them. So A is hair, import hair, apply changes. B is leg lower, apply changes. You'll notice that I put strings also into the letters themselves to make it faster and easier for yourself. So this is a miscellaneous. I didn't need any miscellaneous, so I bye deleted. You'll notice that it's completely gone. Well, we don't need to reorganize the IDs at all, so we'll just keep it fine the way it is, to keep within the system, to keep everything not quite as confusing as normal. So arm, lower, apply changes. Arm, upper, apply changes. Hand, right. Oh, I'm sure this is just absolutely, what did I do? Okay. Oh, look, it's all done. Ha ha ha. No, so now you've deleted all the ones that you're not using. You've got the BMDLs on top of the ones that you are using. Hey, look, it's the upper leg. Hey, look, it's the upper leg. Ah. But you're not quite done yet with this particular file. I just saved it. Why? Because in the main font section, TBS, you'll notice that it still references those. This will cause an error if you don't take these out. So, bye-bye. Every single one that says quad not found. Bye-bye, skip you, bye-bye. Over and over and over until you're all done. Now you're all ready to go. So what do you do? Gay. Oh, it's a good thing I decided to save it. There you go. Yeah. So Oh, hi, Aaron. What's up? Oh, hi, Aaron. What's up? You're on my movie now. It's been bothering me off and on for a while now. Well, I'll check it out later, you whiny loser bastard. Oh god, you're probably gonna watch this. Oh god. Your hair is horrible. Oh no. Yeah, I'm in the... Okay, now that I'm in away mode, we can get back to work. Okay, so it's all deleted and all that. Apply changes, save. And at this point, the actual font itself is mostly done. Forgot. But let's say you make a mistake. What if you accidentally delete one of these? Well, that's not a problem. Click there. Click the... Put in the quad. It's all BMDL at this point. Put in the ID. Well, you go to the pattern. Say you needed to put in the letter X. Well, X was deleted, but if for some reason you felt like you missed a BMDL or you accidentally deleted something or whatever, 4014 for Eliza, 24 for X because it's the 24th letter of the alphabet, and then it's all that. So you put in the string to follow the pattern. So this would be excess crap, carperp. Import the BMDL. Hey, look, now you've got another hand. Oops, you're supposed to hit apply change first, whatever. And now it's like as if nothing ever happened. Although you will also need to add a reference to it too, don't forget. So plus here, click on FIDS, apply changes, and now your font has that extra thing. So you can fix that mistake should it ever happen. Oh, no, not done yet, not done yet. What, you also need to tell it what ASCII code letter it will be. So it will be X, that will be 120, because it's the 24th letter of the alphabet. Okay, apply changes, save. Now you're done. But I don't need that, so goodbye. And but do you want to lose it? No, apply changes. Okay, so, and then this is out of order. Well, this doesn't affect anything. It doesn't matter if it's out of order, as far as I know. But it does make things a little confusing if you've got things all over the place. So you move it down to where move it down to where it is, and then you delete it because we don't need it. So this actual part of the font itself is complete. Pat yourself on the back. You're beautiful. I think I just did that. Okay, so what next? Well, the 3th file. This is what you select in the menu to select that font. This will be the preview image, and this is the last thing you need to do. This tells you the dimensions that you'll need to make, 136 by 16. So how do you do that? Well, yeah, do some screen taking. Oops, wrong. Wait, wrong. Well, think. Wait, white. Laser. And in the middle. Now we do the color. Indexed color. We use custom. Oh, that's nice. That's 3mm's one, right? Load, palette. Yeah. See there. Okay. Now I know what I'm doing. I use that as a shortcut. Control Shift Alt. That would be Control Shift A, and that was the one for those colors. So now that that's done, happy, good, ready, go. Control Shift S. I use the menu. Well, it's a BMP. Yes, I want to replace it. This is fine. And ta-da, you're done with that. We'll put you away for now. Good. What are we doing? Oh, right. Pencil. We are importing this Sun View import BIMP. And ta-da, this is what it will look like in 3mm when you are done. Isn't that great? Wasn't that so worth it? Save. Now your font is completely done. But you need the textures. So let's do some freaking textures. Now, let me explain something, okay? When you work on the font, okay, notice that nothing is active at the moment. Okay, the fonts are only 16 kilobytes, 18 kilobytes. That's a really small size. That's good. That's much better than editing an entire friggin' actor and importing it, because that's usually at nearly 600 kilobytes, which is a heck of a lot of space to add to a file just for something small, stupid like this. So, notice I don't have any expansions loaded. My default black movie. But when you go to the textures, they are there. Well, how did I do this? Why did I do this? Well, why I did this was because, for one, doing it like this removes a lot of the space from the font. And because otherwise it's just redundancy. Otherwise you're putting copies of textures already in 3DMM into 3DMM. You're putting tons of file size into your movie. It's pretty silly. So what I did was I found out this little system to get the textures in 3DMM nice and happy-like. Of course, they look better on the actual fonts themselves. But so that's the end result, and you'll notice that it's not an expansion. I will explain that later. But for right now, this is what we're doing. This is the texture 3th file. This will point to the textures inside 3DMM itself, so that you will look at those textures instead of having to put in duplicates of the same textures. This is not an actual expansion. If you tried to make this an actual expansion and use it in v3mm, it would not work, and I figured out why. And that's because this file needs to be in the exact same directory as the file that contains the textures that it is pointing to. So when you're done with this, you have to put these texture pointing files, the 3th files, inside your C program files, Microsoft Kids 3D Movie Maker folder. Kind of like the way we used to have to do v3DMM expansions before v3DMM came along. Some people might yell at me about this because it messes with the actual files themselves, but you're not changing anything. You're simply adding extra files into that directory and then working with those textures from there. You'll notice that when you do it this way, the textures that you'll use will still work on the fonts and stuff that you use the textures on, even if you don't have these files in your directories. Okay? So even if you don't do that, this will work fine. This isn't breaking 3DMM at all. I mean, heck, you guys were all able to watch the second movie in the TBS telethon series when I used that actor font, and you didn't have any problems, even though you didn't have this file, because of the way that the textures get attached to the font. You know, it works whether the file is there or not, because it's stored in the actual movie itself, and it points to textures that are already there inside 3DMM. So, you know, coolness. So, first there are two things that you have. Oh god, you have to change all the IDs again. Well, this is going to take a while. So this is license, this is 14, not 15, 14. Apply changes, save. Now for some time travel for you guys. Okay, so what is it that I'm doing? What is... Not only does this require pointing towards the right textures, but this particular file also requires previews for what the... we not only have to figure out what the textures will point to ID-wise, but we also need to create these preview images for the character. Now, this is not as hard or as time-consuming as you think, and you'll notice that Gustav is a little different than everyone else because I did him first. I personally would just rather do it this way. It's a little bit more obvious. Well, it's not as obvious what everything is, but it's definitely a faster, lazier way to do it. You know, just the arrow points to the arm texture. Well, it's this arm texture. Well, it's this hip texture. Well, it's the lower leg with the sock. Well, this is the foot. Hey, look, it's the foot. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Anyway, so the first thing you have to do is get all these IDs in order. Okay. Now, I've only done the first 30. I have a sneaky suspicion that Eliza won't need all of them. So if we'll just deal with that for right now, we'll probably end up deleting a bunch of them. Phone! Not now! Okay. Hold on, guys. Just a sec. Oh, everybody just loves telemarketers, don't they? Yeah. Okay, so where were we? Back to what we were doing. Dr. Pepper. Okay. Did I save, guys? Did nobody's talking to me? Whatever. Oh, you can't hear me or respond. Joke failed. So what you need to do first? Well, there are two things you need to do. You need to set and order the preview imagery, and you also need to figure out what the textures point to. We'll do that second one first, so that we know for sure exactly which images we will be doing previews of. Because otherwise, you don't know entirely what you want. So, go back to the main level of the actor, Eliza's main level, the 3CN. Now this is the actor extracted one again. And what you want are the T-maps. So let's set this down here. We'll look for T-maps. You don't, when you're doing the actor extractor, well, that doesn't even matter because I did all of this part for you. But I did not have the file, I did not have 7gen extract a full bitmap of all of the T-maps at once because I needed the IDs that reference them, and I'll get to that in a sec. So this is T-map 536. Well, what is it? Well, as you can expect, it is her face. Beautiful, isn't it? Cute, huh? Yeah, exactly. Huge forehead. Wow, look at that. But now you don't need to extract this or anything, because remember, we're going to have 3DMM look at its own textures. So what you do need, though, is the references and what they are referenced by. Now this particular face, like most faces for the actors, trust me, all of them, the first face will have this, referenced by a large amount of MTRLs. What are the MTRLs? I'm not exactly sure, but they do organize everything. They change depending on the costume that you're using. And, from the different body parts. Now, according to the pattern that they created 3DMM with, the second one on the list, the second MTRL, is going to be the actual face. If the first one, since Eliza had a neck in the BMDL list first, the first MTRL also will point to the neck. What I mean is, the 3DM makers did not include a separate texture for the neck, or for anything that uses the skin, which includes the arms and the hands. What they did was they had them point to the face, but instead grab a different piece of the face texture. So they only grab like the top left corner, and then they use that for the skin parts. That was precisely the problem that I helped Stan Pennant with on his recent, request to have somebody help him with his V3MM expansion. It was because he had replaced the entire face, and the top left corner had huge brown spots, and so those brown spots got all over the skin of his actor, and it just ruined the actor, so I had to replace all that. It was a long story. But what we want is the face. So the face comes first, and it's MTRL 2170. Now there are different ways you can go about this. What I did, well, we'll probably just use a notepad anyway to keep it in line. So the first MTRL is 2170. This is the face. For the neck, 2169 will be the neck. That's the first one list. And then the arms and the hands. But you know, might not need to do that. They might all just be pretty much exactly the same anyway. But you know what, I'll just do it the way I've been doing it, just because I know that it works. So 216 will be the lower arm. Where are my fingers? And then 2180 will be the hands. And these are on the MTRL list. And they all point to the face texture. So what's the next T-map in line? It is 537, and it is her hair. So the MTRL for her hair is 2171. Next, that's ear, left. So 2172, ear, left. Leafed, left. What the? Hey! My mouse has become imprecise. Okay, so the next one will be ear, right. So, look on the reference list, 2174, ear, right. You get what I'm doing so far, huh? Yeah, huh? Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. There's her front torso. It's referenced by MTRL 2178. However, unlike the BMDLs, you also have to take into account separate costumes. So this is the first torso, and then later, if when you change her costume to the next one in line, which I think is the nurse costume, well, then you ought to have torso front 2, torso front 3, torso front 4, and then you keep them in line with the costume that you use, and yeah. I forgot to turn on music again. Okay, this is the back. Okay. Oh, another thing about the redundancy of it, you'll notice that some of them will be referenced by two things. 21A1, 2183, for example. Well, this is her upper arm texture, and it's used on both of her upper arms. But because they use the exact same texture, we don't need to do a separate texture for each of the upper arms. So you just do one of them, and it'll work fine for both of them. Don't worry about it. What the? I have no idea what that is. So, again, we go back to 3DMM and look at Eliza herself. Which is, you need to open up 3DMM anyway for the, oh, that's her hips, isn't it? Isn't. Yeah, I think that is her hip. Oh, so her hip. Okay, so that is her hip, and her hip uses the same exact texture as her legs. So at this point, this one texture will in fact suffice for both the hip and the leg and each leg section. So even though they will have duplicates, for example, the next one will probably look exactly the same, but it's just smaller, but it will look relatively exactly the same on the actual actor. So this would be redundancy. We don't need this texture. This would be, you have the freedom to do this if you're making the fonts. If you don't want to do tons of redundant textures, you can just skip it. So this one hip texture will be fine for all of the legs for costume. I forgot to say that was for costume 1. Okay? Right. Okay, here we have the second face, the second costume face. Remember to grab the second one on the list. Ho ho ho, we have duplicate ears. Well, too bad. You will now notice that the second costume of Eliza has different texture for the hip and different texture for the legs. So you will want to do separate ones for the legs. But remember to put a 2. We didn't put a 1, we didn't put a leg with 1, but there is legs 2 because it is part of the second costume, so keeping it in line. Now you will notice that the fourth of Eliza, the nurse, uses almost exactly the same texture the entire time. So I didn't have duplicates. So no arms, no legs, no hips. So that cuts out a lot of textures for that costume. So when I said that I had a sneaky suspicion Eliza would not have as many textures as Gustav, for example, did, I was right. Okay. When it doesn't go down anymore, when you hit Find Next, that means you're done. So, this is the entire list of textures that Eliza will be using in our font at the end of the day. So now we go back to the texture 3th, and remember when we were putting down those MTRLs, these numbers right here? Well, that's the ID of the texture that we're going to be pointing at. So how do we insert that into this 3th? Well, the MTTH files are what do the pointing. So MTTH number 1, first in list, will be the face 1, MTRL 2170. View, edit, MTRL 2170. 2170. Okay, apply changes, and repeat, 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 all the way down. No problem, just the MTHs. It turns out that, you know how I stopped at 30? Well, it turns out the way I did Eliza ended up requiring 31 textures. So now I have to go back through and fix those IDs real quick like. And ta-da. Okay, now that's it. You'll have these extras left over. So, hyphenize. Okay. If you accidentally, oops, I accidentally hit one too many. Well, what do? Plus button. MBMP. The ID number is 987781431. And that is good. It's all good. If you need to make extras, you just do the same thing. Just copy, what these are. Make sure that the reference IDs are 0 and 65536. I'm not quite sure why they're 0 and 65536, but hey, whatever. Whatever works. Okay. So, there's one thing you have left to do, and that is hold on. And that would be the textures previews. So you have to make these images for 3D. Not a problem. We got a handy little system setup. First off, take note, 64 by 30. Well, this requires both Microsoft 3D Movie Maker face straight, please. Okay. That's the first costume. let's have her background be, let's have her background be light blue. Sure, light blue. That'll be good for Eliza. Okay, that will be the background for our preview thumbnails. Actually, it's probably better to have them be dark. Not a problem. There we go. Okay, so we get back into Photoshop. New image, 64 by 30, I believe I said. 40? 30? 30. 40? 40? 30. 30. Right, okay. So, that is... So, okay. Here's how I went about it using Photoshop. How I taught myself how to use this. Since before this, I only used Paint Shop Pro and for whatever. Oh, right, because I deleted that hard drive, so I didn't need a new program, so I downloaded Photoshop. Crux. What am I doing? Oh, yes, I am taking a picture. Print screen. Now, you only need to do that once or twice per costume with this system that I figured out using Photoshop. Why? Well, I'll explain. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So this is our preview box. Okay? So that's her face. Now, oh bummer, I'm gonna have to go find it. I made this thing. This would be, as you can see, the default little arrow that I use to point at stuff. So Control A, Control C, come over here, Control V. Now you've got this moving thing. You click on it, make sure you're on the right layer, and now you can move the arrow around that will point for the preview on the thumbnails, okay? So this will be for the face, because the face comes first, is what we're working on right now. So, what you want to do is Image, Mode, Indexed Color, Flatten Layers, yes. Palette. Now, I've got this being the custom 3DMM palette, so the next time you come in, you can just hit Previous. Okay, so then you'll just be Previous, OK, it's applied, Save As, Eliza, Texture, 3th Previews, BIMP, and now Pogo's talking to me. Hey, Pogo, how's it going? What are we looking at? Face. Oh, duh, stupid me, I left 3DMM Animation Pro on. Face. 1. Save. Enter. That's good. What do you want, Pogo? What? Giving away a free Wii in a competition because the new Zelda features Link rescuing trapped monkeys from cages. Oh, I guess they've never seen what Link does to chickens. You're in my movie now. Hooray. Okay, where was I? Okay. Yes. So, we have saved this image. Now, what you want to do is press Control, Alt, Z. This will take a step backwards in time. You don't want to do Control Z, it won't do anything, but Control, Alt, Z will. This separates this back into different layers, back into the non-paletted version, and you can move things around again. So we're still on layer 2, so if we wanted to, we could move the arrow around and point at the hair and do the hair one, but since the hair is not completely on screen, right-click layer 1, move layer 1, right-click layer 2, There, 2. And now we have the thumbnail preview for her hair. Yes! So, Control-Shift-A is the shortcut I have set up for image mode indexed color. How did I do that? Well, I edit, keyboard shortcuts, Alt-Shift-Control-K. Application menus, image, mode, indexed color, add shortcut, Shift-Control-A. You'll want to do OK, but I hit cancel because I have worked on it. So then what I do, Control-Shift-A, enter, enter, Control-Shift-S, hair, enter, enter, Control-Alt-Z. And now you're back to manipulating your image. So there's the neck, Control-Shift-A, enter, enter, Control-Shift-S, neck, enter, enter, Control-Z. Layer 1. Boobies. Control-Shift-A, enter, enter, Control-Shift-S. Torso, front, 1. Torso, front, 1, enter, enter. Répétez, s'il vous plaît. I'm sorry. Okay, now, you notice that there is no way to get to the back, so turn it around. Okay, press screen, whatever. Now you can put this into the same image. Go around looking for Eliza. There's her back. My bad. Get back to the point where you have separate layers. Then you post another layer. Put it underneath the arrow so the arrow shows on top. Blah 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 blah. Whoa, right past it. There it is. Hey, look, it's the back. And then just press delete. Or no, Control-Alt-Z and then press delete. And now you're back to the front. Isn't that great? Okay, you will now notice that you're done with the first costume. So, you go to layer 1. Actually, I forgot you can do that by the right clicking. Also, delete. Now, Eliza, turn around, forward, look at me. Change clothes. And print screen. Put down here. Hello. And back to work you go. So there's Control-Shift-A, enter, enter, Control-Shift-S, face 2. Face 2. Enter, enter, Control-Alt-Z. Yada-da-da-dee. Yada-da-da-da. Okay, all done. No, thank you. Okay. So, now I've got this all taken care of. Now it's time to go back into the 3.3th and to take care of some business. So we go in line. The first one. Okay, you just make sure that they match up, okay? That you did everything exactly the same, all matched up, all down the line. So the first one I did was 2170 face 1. So you go to the MBMP, view, import, face 1. Good. Okay, apply. Next MBMP will be the neck. Import BMP. Neck. Open. Good. Okay. Apply. Next one is the lower arm. Arm lower. Good. Okay. And over and over and over again. For all of them. And just make sure that they line up in the exact same order that you did it before, so you don't have to fix anything later. God damn it, I forgot to do ears. Okay. That is all done. All the way through to the feet for the last costume. And I thoroughly believe at this point that we are complete. Of course, knowing me, I screwed something up somewhere, so what we do is we test everything before, So first off, I'm going to save as a new one. This is Eliza, so I put the Z so that they all stick together within the 3D Movie Maker folder. Z Eliza. Good. Actually, if I were smart, I would have gone about it a different way. Where is it? Microsoft Kids, Microsoft Kids, Microsoft Kids, Microsoft Kids 3D Movie Maker. Hello, there you are. So, Eliza, we'll move you. What? Oh, come on. Okay, we'll knock you out. Rawr. Okay, fine. Whatever. We will. Why is it named 3CM? It should be 3TH. Rawr. Okay, fine. Whatever. Close down. New. Okay. Now you're not being used by anything. Ha 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 ha. Now you have been moved into the save folder. Now this is Gregory, Gustav, Michael, and now Eliza. They're all the ones that I've completed. Oh, and there's one more thing that you have left to do. And that would be to actually make the expansion itself. Eliza, font BMDLs. That's that. Now you come back to the CFG file. Oh, okay. Well, first you want to make sure that the configuration is right. Actor fonts, Eliza. Author was 3DMM Actor fonts. Good, good. So now we just select them all, compress it into a zip folder, and rename to Actor Fonts Eliza.vxp. Yes, you do want to change it. Ta-da! There she is. There's Eliza. 15.25 kilobytes. Not bad at all. We also had already put the texture thumbnail pointer file 3th in program files Microsoft Kids 3D Movie Maker, or for some of you 3D Movie. So the textures will already be there. Now, the texture list goes entirely by the ID of the MTRLs, not by the ID of the actual file we were messing with in 3DMM Pencil. So if you the same order as 3DM did it, 3DMM doesn't care. They have the order they have set up already beforehand. So even like with the Gustav, I had it ordered face, 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 torso, 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 torso back, torso back, torso back. And in 3DMM, you will notice that that is not the order that it goes. Well, too bad, whatever. So, now we test. Okay, Q is the first face. First off, this came out looking nicely. Look at that. This is Eliza's head. Now, they always point to the left. That's just how it happened in 3DM. I'm sorry. When you actually use it, here. Okay. That's Gregory's face on Eliza. Wow, that came out pretty nice, actually. This is Gregory's face on Eliza. It's... Let's see, Eliza is... It goes in ID order. There's Eliza. There's her face. Notice that the neck came first. Remember, the neck was the first BMDL, and it also is the first. So there's her face. Hey, Eliza. When you use it in 3DM, make sure you set it to spin letters. Okay, that's just weird. Is that actually supposed to be like that? Well, let's bring out the actual Eliza. The actual Eliza, everyone. Stick her into the camera. Yeah, it was there the entire time, underneath the hair. Look at that. Wow, just like Jersey's mouth. Now, you will notice that they go right on top of each other, nice and smooth, nice and fancy-like. More or less. So then, and when you're actually doing the actor movements, you can just get rid of the actualizer, and hey, and then it's got the actual actions going on. Look at me, I'm acting. Whee! That's just not right. So, anyway, so let's see. A is the hair, or a screw face. So there's the hair. There's the hair. There's the neck. We go back up to the neck. Bam! Neck texture. Next up is the torso. Ears are in a different place. So there's the torso there. There's the torso. There's the back of the torso. Nothing there! Oh no! E, we got some arms. I'm pretty sure that's an arm, so that, okay, so a hand. Just as I suspected, they're roughly the exact same texture. But you know what? Whatever. We'll just leave it the way it is right now. Fine. Big deal. But in the future, know that you can choose to, you know, to have neck, arm, and hand be all the same texture. Because in the end, it'll all work out to be very similar. See? Yeah. So, you know what? We'll just stick with the neck in the future. Okay? Let's see what else. Let's see, that was lower arm. This is upper. Wait, no, that's lower arm. That was upper arm. This is lower arm. That should be the hand. No, I guess that's a hand. Then that's the other hand. That'll be empty. This is the hip. So, yeah. Oh, there's the arrow. Ta-da! There's upper leg, lower leg, foot, ankle warmer, ear, other ear, and that's it. So, good. We're happy. That's all working. So, the textures were working, the thumbnails were set to the correct textures, and so we have a working complete Eliza font. Hooray! Alright. That almost is weird. See, another thing is that this also gives you a lot of creativity. I mean, like when the Michael face was put on the Eliza face and it came out looking fine. Well, now it's shaped. It's not Michael face. I say with Michael face, it's a Gregory face. You can put different hats and different characters and all that. So, you know, you got yeah, good stuff. So now, whenever you upload the so for everybody that's making these actor fonts, if you're going to do them for the standard characters, let me know first so that we can keep track of who's doing what. Then when you're done, send me the VXP and the 3TH that you stick in Microsoft Kids 3D Movie Maker. Put them both in the same zip and send that to me, and I'll organize everything. And then I'll put it all into a thread, keep track of which ones are done by whom. I believe that's just about it. And it only took me roughly 2 hours to do it, even with all that goofing up that I did. So for you guys, it should only be about 2 hours each font. um, for some really flexible, good results. Hey, yeah, good stuff. Thanks for coming along, and good luck not screwing up everything while you're working on it. Woohoo! Okay.